The protocol requires us to use SynLab, which is a syndicated lab that UEFA has chosen. So they had to go across the frontier to be tested. But we said to the team very clearly that they had to remain in their social bubble, that they were to be isolated, they were not to go out. I've spoken to the Elliott Hotel afterwards, and they were thoroughly assured that that had been exactly what had happened. So they were then waiting for the result. Now, obviously, it's the Spanish lab that we were dependent on, and the Spanish lab ran, I think, 3 different tests for validation purposes. And then about 3:30, we were told that 7 of the results were positive. Having had the 7 positives, it was pretty clear pretty early on that the entire team had been playing, the whole cohort that had come through had been playing with each other, matches, and they were there for all close contact. So if we had followed our own protocol, and UEFA says very clearly that all their guidance is subject to local legislation and rules, then the public health rules under the civil contingency regulations that we have is that those would all be isolated. So I regretfully, because I was looking forward to a match too, I regretfully had to say that it looked like the entire team was effectively suspect positive.
And, well, there's been disappointment on our side, of course, but none more so than that experienced on the Kosovo side of things. How confident are you that they have not picked up the virus while in Gibraltar?
You have to incubate the virus. You don't spontaneously start to be positive as soon as you've been exposed to the virus. It then grows in the throat and the lungs, and then it gets expressed, and then our tests are able to pick it up. And the best we're able to do is, it's usually, we think it's about 4 to 5 days from our experience here.
So they were tested more or less upon entry to Gibraltar, and given the very limited time they've been on the rock, it's very, very unlikely that, if not impossible, that they picked it up here.
Yes, biologically, I don't think that's credible. And we tested them at the airport, so you couldn't be more approximate to the plane. I cannot, and I don't believe that the lab that was testing them in Kosovo was necessarily a recognised lab by UEFA. So, I mean, we didn't know that at the time. And of course, those people who are taking travel certificates know this, that people want certificates that are maybe eligible for 3 days. Actually, from a virus point of view, you're only negative as long as the test was taken, really, because you can suddenly express the virus. So I'm regretful that this happened to those poor lads who came over. I had to go by the protocol, which is what the Spanish lab told us.